What's up, y'all? I know I'm a little late. I'm recording this video because yesterday, because of the snow and everything, I was having a little computer trouble. So I was like, it's just better off me just making this video now, right? So, all right. So I ain't even gonna waste y'all time. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Um, you see the picture in the intro is of Kendrick Lamar. You already know what it is. You liked it, you didn't like it. Either way, I thought it was a nice pick. It depicts how us as black people got to fight through all the bullshit that's going through America right now, with trying to make sure that our families is going to have generational wealth to keep going, right? Of course. So that's the whole purpose of all of this, right? So yeah, that's what I got out of it, right? So let's go. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so um, what is the weekly market recap? S&P 500 was up 0.6% this week. This is as of Monday because I was supposed to give you all this yesterday. So keep in mind, these are Tuesday stats. So these were taking the data from Monday and using it for this PowerPoint, right? So this is the stuff that was going on as of Monday, February 11th, right? So, I mean not February 11th. Yeah, February 11th. So, Nasdaq bounced back with a 1.1% jump. It had been bad because of all the tech stocks it has in it. I told y'all the week prior about how the tech stocks had the market falling a little bit because Nvidia's situation that was going on with DeepSeek and all those things like that, right? But I told you it was going to bounce back, of course, right? So it's on the way back up, on the up and up, right? So what's going on? Trump announced some bullshit as always. I know I don't like to talk about Trump so much on the channel, but um, he's doing things that are costing us to have to talk about it, right? So that's the whole point. Tech stocks are making moves after some recent dips, and gold is still shining as the go-to safe haven, right? So we're gonna get into all of it. So stick around for the full video, all that. So, um, if you're in the chat on the Discord, I talked about a lot of Super Bowl commercial. A lot of people were worried about the halftime show, which I did enjoy, by the way. That's why I made it the cover. But most important, most importantly, I was paying attention to the commercials, right? Because you got to think about it. The Super Bowl isn't just football; it's a $7 million per second flex. $7 million per second per 30 seconds. I mean, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's a $7 million per 30 seconds. Companies are spending $7 million for 30 seconds to make advertisements. So if their advertisement is a minute long, they spent $14 million, give or take, right? So they spending that to push their products and grow their brand, and that can mean future stock gains, right? So the ones that we were watching at the Super Bowl, they're getting major exposure. They're announcing their new products. They may have waited to announce a new product just for the Super Bowl, just because they know so many eyes were going to be on it, things of that nature, right? So, what was a Super Bowl commercial that you seen that you definitely feel like is a company that you feel like would be good to invest in? When y'all watch this video, you can just hit me up and tell me, because I'm gonna drop it so where y'all can watch it and everything. So when you watch this, just think about that, have that in the back of your mind, right? And if you need to go back and watch the Super Bowl commercials, they're all on YouTube, so you can watch the whole um walkthrough of all the commercials that were on the Super Bowl, right? They have a collage of them on YouTube. But also, if you want to see major companies that I paid attention to, are right here, right? So we got Apple, we got Meta, we got Salesforce, we got NerdWallet, we got Pepsi, we got Amazon, we got DraftKings, we got Roku, and why it matters is companies don't spend this kind of money unless they expect a return, right? So a well executed Super Bowl campaign can lead to increased brand awareness, higher sales, and a positive stock movement, right? So if you were in the chat, I put in there to be watching um this past Monday for stock movements from Sunday Super Bowl, right? Okay, so um major things that's going on that's shaking up the market is we got Trump's tariffs. That's probably the most important thing that we need to worry about, just economic wise. He hit a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum, which is boosting U.S. metal producers but hurting industries like cars and construction, right? So when we were talking about a lot of infrastructure, stocks and things of that nature, that's mostly construction of things of that nature. So those type of stocks like Home Depot and things of that nature are going to take a hit, right? So if you're on the shorting side of playing stocks where you like the short stocks, which means you betting on them to go down in the future, that might be something to look into for infrastructure stocks, right? So winners are U.S. Steel, Nucor, and Alcoa are eating good right now. Then we have companies like GM, Ford, and construction firms might see higher production costs, which is going to hurt them in the long run, right? So, what else is going on? We're talking about tech struggles, right? We talked last week about how Nvidia was bringing the tech stock market down overall, right? But not for long. So that's the main point, right? But not for long. Big names like Microsoft and Nvidia have been under pressure, but companies like Palantir are showing how AI applications can keep growth steady. So that's something very, very big. Like I told y'all before, with the DeepSeek thing coming out, and Nvidia seeing competition, I do believe that Nvidia will come out with something that's gonna wow the market. They have a big, big, big market cap. They have free float capital to be able to explore and invest to build something new that will wow their investors, that will make sure that they remain on top, right? So they have the money and the resources and the power and the connections to be able to withstand sustain their power in the market, right? So that's something I want y'all to be very, very aware of. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I promise you they will do something to counter effect the billions of dollars they lost from the DeepSeek AI launching from China, right? So oil and energy, oil prices are rising rapidly, right? Trump recently did a deal with Saudi Arabia that may bring oil prices back down, but as of right now, the oil prices are definitely rising with tensions between countries rising. Things going on in South Africa, things going on in the Middle East. Um, I don't understand why Trump is trying to pick fights with Middle Eastern countries um, by saying that he's gonna take over Gaza, which Middle Eastern countries like Egypt and others back. Definitely Muslim countries back that. So that's something that we're gonna have to definitely look into, right? I can't tell you here or there how that's gonna work. But yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind, that Trump is definitely stirring things up with Muslim countries because he's already fighting Hamas, he's fighting Iran, um, and he's talking about taking over Gaza. So Just keep that in mind when you're watching oil prices. If you're gonna buy into something, I like oil, but if you really want to buy something that's a real resource, I would definitely buy gold. We're gonna talk about that later in the slides, but I definitely would go for gold before I buy oil. Other types of energy like solar and things of that nature, I like, but when it comes to actual like gasoline and oil, I would rather play gold and silver before I play oil. That's just me. But let's keep going. Okay, so global trends you gotta watch. Just like I was talking about a second ago, gold has been reaching record highs as the U.S. debt continues to climb. There is a positive relationship between gold and the United States government's debt, which is really our debt as taxpayers, right? So, if you want to gain more knowledge about that, please really look up U.S. debt versus gold. There's a very positive correlation between the price of gold and the U.S. debt rising. As the U.S. debt has continued to rise, the price of gold has been continued rising, right? So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about these things, right? So, um, prices hit 2,900 per ounce this week. When markets get shaky, people run to gold, right? So when things start getting tricky with the dollar and people aren't certain about what their money is going to stretch like, they start going to tangible things, which is like gold, silver, bronze, all those type of things, like back in the day, what they used to trade with, right? So, inflation data is coming out this week. You definitely need to pay attention to that because gold is a direct hedge against inflation. So as inflation tends to rise, which I believe it will, with Trump stirring up the world with all these tariffs and things of that nature, I believe that inflation will rise at least a little bit again, and I think gold will directly react to that, right? So this is not the end of the gold era, right? It's on a Bitcoin type run right now, and this is probably the best you're gonna get when you got gold. Also, if you have gold, as it continues to rise, you might want to think about cashing out before the price of it goes back down per ounce, right? So, anyways, countries hit by Trump's tariffs might clap back with their own, which could mess with exports and supply chains. That's our biggest fear as retail investors in this market, right? That's why it's very good to diversify. We don't know what Trump is going to do over these next 4 years. He has a long time to fuck shit up. Let's just call it what it is. Trump has a long time to fuck something up, right? So we have to make sure that we're in a position to react and maneuver all the things that Trump could possibly do, right? So let's just keep that in mind. Okay, so um stock picks and predictions for this week. Palantir, if you didn't get in Palantir when I first called it when it was like 80 something dollars, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It was like 80, 70 something dollars when I first started talking about it here in the chat and on Talking Stock Tuesdays. It's at $115 now, so it's going crazy. Um, Definitely something to look into. People are really hyped about it. Big investors are hyped about it. People are looking at it as something that could really be one of those stocks that start off small and get big, right? So just keep that in mind. Always keep in mind Nvidia. I don't care what they tell you, Nvidia is still one of the top companies of all time. and they have one of the highest market caps, even though they lost a couple $100 billion, whatever. That shit was light to them. They were $1 trillion market cap company, so it doesn't matter, bro. So let's keep it buck. So they're gonna do things, right? Tesla has been dropping rapidly. Um, I told y'all that I would be cautious about Tesla. Um, if you want me to pull the clip up for you, I will pull the clip up where I said you need to be cautious about Tesla because Tesla is directly tied to Elon Musk. Anything Elon Musk does that's unfavorable amongst the world, which he does a lot, Tesla will take hits, right? So you have to keep in mind that Tesla is one of those companies that are directly tied to its owner. When he did the little Nazi salute at Trump's inauguration and everybody was mad, that is the reason why Tesla is dropping. People are not fucking with what Elon is doing. They don't trust him being so close to the government, things of that nature. So his Tesla stock is directly affected by that. Also, it's affected by Trump imposing tariffs on China and China um, imposing tariffs back on us. The biggest EV market, which is electric vehicle by EV, what I mean by EV is electric vehicle, which Tesla is. The biggest electric vehicle market outside of the United States is China. So if China is not fucking with us and that's his biggest market, there's going to be problems and the stock is going to drop, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. We got Nucor and we got Alcoa, right? Um, with tariffs boosting domestic steel and aluminum, these stocks could see short-term gains. These are steel stocks that are steel manufacturers, and with steel prices rising, of course, their valuation is going to go up because they're going to get more every piece of steel they sell. They're going to get more because of the tariffs. Okay, so um, ETFs to keep on your radar. We talked about all of these, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time. But please look into GLD. That is gonna be one of your best friends. GLD right there. SPDR gold shares. I just told you that gold just hit an all-time high of 2,900. Let's stop playing around now. It's time to execute. I be on here every week telling y'all some shit. When you gonna put a play in? You be quick to throw them parlays in or buy that bullshit. But that money in the market, man, I'm warning you. All right, so look, y'all can just take a screenshot of this. Also, infrastructure, right? That's one of the sectors that we are definitely favoring because of all these tariffs and things like that. So infrastructure investments are looking good, right? So look into that IFRA ETF, right? Okay, so let's keep going. So what is the strategy, right? I'm giving y'all this strategy. I said the same thing last week. This is the same thing as last week. I didn't change it at all. I need y'all to focus up. Sometimes it's going to be the same shit. It's going to be the same stocks. It's going to be the same strategy. And that's because the strategy works. If it didn't work, I would be switching it up all the time, telling y'all do different things. No, the strategy works. You've seen that things have been happening in the world and things of that nature, and with certain companies that I've been having to switch the strategy up just a tad bit. But the strategy is still the same. Dollar cost average, Buy ETFs first before you buy individual stocks. Diversify your bag, which means all the different sectors I keep telling y'all are going to be winners that have been winners. Get into them. Use the market dips as times to buy. Do not buy at the all-time high because stocks have to consolidate. I know it sucks to be that one guy that missed out, but don't be the one person that bought at the high and when a stock drops, you losing hella money. Don't do that. Okay? Have cash ready. Um, create a fund. I told y'all that Webull, even if you don't put your money into the stock yet, it works as a high yield savings account. So you can set your account up to be giving you 4% appreciation as your money is just sitting in the account while you waiting for the perfect position to get into, which no position is ever perfect, but you waiting for that dip or whatever or the great stock you want to get into. It's at an all-time high. You just got your money sitting in there in your account. You can be gaining 4% appreciation on your money while it's just sitting there waiting for you to put it in. So that's just even a more incentive of why you should build your account up. Have that cash already in your account. Don't wait until the dip happens and be trying to deposit the money right then and there and then put your stock money in. No, have that shit already sitting in your account. So now when the position comes up, you're ready to move. That's how you catch it. It's a mindset. Y'all got to get into the point where it's a mindset for you. So have some cash ready and stay in the know. Even if you're not going to put no positions in, you need to know what's going on with tariffs, inflation, debt, all these things because they directly affect you as a U.S. citizen. Um, you as a taxpayer are getting directly affected by all these things that's happening, whether you buy stocks or not. So please start really paying attention to this shit. Okay, so we're getting to the end here. What are the key takeaways? The volatility, which the market is getting very volatile now because I told y'all Trump shaking up the market with a lot of shit he's doing, and he got countries getting mad at us. He's fucking up the imports and exports with tariffs. Things are happening, so volatility is vital. People are getting upset about things like companies getting rid of their DEI programs and they're boycotting them. So those type of things are making the market volatile, right? So with those things happening, um don't let it scare you out of the game, right? So if the company you are fucking with, is one of those ones, even through those little downtimes where you might be in the red a little bit, just thug it through, man. Because I promise you, I've literally been in the red with so many companies and I bought out and I literally regret buying out. 2 years later, the company has doubled, tripled in price and I bought out, right? So those are the type of things that you have to it will take experience. Me telling you isn't gonna like help you for real. You really have to just experience it for yourself and understand that um it's just a part of it, right? You have to get over that fear of like, oh my God, I'm in the red. I gotta get out now. I'm losing money. Like, because in the long run, you're gonna make that money back times two, right? So gold and inflation. Gold is hot right now, and watch those inflation numbers to see where the market goes. So inflation gets high, um, things are gonna start happening, right? You need to be watching Retail stocks are gonna probably go down a little bit if prices get high because people aren't gonna want to pay the high price for groceries. Um, Gold is gonna rise, continue to rise over top of what it was doing now. If inflation goes up, tech stocks are gonna probably go down a little bit. But dividend stocks are like staple companies. Remember, I told y'all about last week about dividend stocks that are like staple companies, like Johnson and Johnson, Walmart, those type of companies that never go nowhere. Those type of companies are gonna probably eat. Financial companies are gonna eat as credit debt and things of that nature goes up. Um, which is like Visa, Amex, American Express, those type of companies, banks and shit like that are gonna eat off that. So and also just stay diversified, man. Mix your portfolio up. I be telling y'all about so many sectors. I mean, I promise you, I do a lot of research on the stock market to be able to give y'all these presentations every week. I mean, obviously, how would I be able to tell y'all this shit if I wasn't doing my own research? But I do a lot of research on this shit, and I'm telling y'all, people are not giving out the type of information I'm giving y'all, like for real. So I hope y'all are really taking heed of this information and executing because it's not just like this information just anywhere, right? So that's the whole PowerPoint though. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. I hope everybody. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Next week, I will be back at normal time on next Tuesday. I think next Tuesday is the oh yesterday was the 11th, so I think it's like the 18th or something like that. I will see y'all then. Um, and we can chat then, man. If y'all have any questions about this video, just hit me up. A lot of y'all got my number. Hit me up in the chat on Discord, whatever. But yeah, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.